Somebody joining us online? Okay. Kelsey's gonna be there, so we're gonna start with our. All right. Okay. Well, yeah, I think we should start. All right, I call to order the Tuesday, August 26th, 2025. City of Crickle Parks Recreation Commission meeting. Roll call, please.
So we'll do roll call, Hank Kruzoff,
Here.
Aaron Cole,
Here.
Gabby Brown. Tara Rodriguez. Here. Kelsey Davis. Jim Fritsch,
Here.
Danny Carpenter.
Here. Okay, we have quorum. I need a motion to approve the minutes from July 29th
I would make a motion to approve the minutes.
and second.
Simple that.
Okay, move the second. And any discussion about the minutes from July 29th? If there's no discussion. Well, we'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Bye. Wow. So move. Communication with visitors? Did you want to say anything? Director's report.
Okay, thanks everyone for coming. I want to say welcome to Danny. I hope we can get the meeting yet. So it's really great to have the full commission happening. I think it's really exciting for Parks and Rec. There's a lot of cool things that are probably going to be happening in the future. Cool things anyway, but you know, it's nice to have a full board. So thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. Sure. I'm not gonna read the director's report verbatim. I hope you guys had a chance to do that. I have some updates to add to it. Which I knew I might, that was a possibility when I wrote this, so, let's see, we're just gonna start in, I guess, with the pool right now. We did have a pretty significant, move forward with the pool. I think last Thursday, the water department was able to get into the pipe that we think is leaking. We had to cut into part of the pipe, up higher in the filter tank area, Micah did, but we gained access and we have a patch already ordered for that pipe. It's visible and it's gonna be fine to do it. So we're very excited to do that. We had to fill, the pool was empty when we were able to get down there. So we have to fill the pool, we filled the pool up to a little bit above where it fell last time, the leak. That way, when we scope it again, we can see if it is landing at the coupling that we think is the issue. So we were able to get down to that coupling, but where the pool was dry, we weren't able to see if that was exactly where it was landing. I want to be 100% sure that we have the right place before we make any decisions about what we're gonna do. So the two decisions that were kind of on the table is hiring a company to slip line the pool plumbing. And I don't know if anyone's aware of what that is, but they put in an epoxy coating, blow up a balloon, put an epoxy coating into the plumbing. That way they don't have to dig in or cut into the pool. There are people in Anchorage that do it. When I reached out to them, it was very expensive, extremely expensive. They could do a small patch on it if we found it, the leak, and if they had a direct access to it. That patch was a lot less, but where that we think that it is a coupling that's failing, we're weighing the options of like, is it gonna fail somewhere else in that plumbing too, if it's already failing there? So are we spending the money on patching something that it might have an issue throughout it? So I reached out, the other option, which has taken me a long time to talk about, is that I reached out to the liner company. They are being wonderful, even though it's not their issue, they're helping us. So they have offered to help us cut into the liner to access that piece of plumbing and walk us through the process. And then we would have to hire someone to fix the plumbing. So decide what we're doing with that. And then they have offered to that we could fly them back. They could in and patch where we've cut the pool open. So it's a little bit of a step forward, it's a little bit more of a plan, we don't have how much that would cost, they need to know where the hole is, we need to know where that is, so the water company, the water department has been very busy this week, but they are coming in on Thursday at 10 o'clock and rescoping it, that's the plan right now. And then once we have that information, then we can start planning with, Renosis, the pool lining company about what that looks like. Cutting into the pool does mean cutting into, where the shell is, so getting someone to weld it too, so making sure that the rest of the liner is protected, is gonna be key. So they're gonna walk us through all of that. It's really encouraging that they're there supporting us through it, so that's where we're at with the pool.
No time frame yet.
No time frame with it. If the plumbing fix, is a lot, we will probably have to put it out to RFP. So we have to go through that process, so we're looking at what that future is, I mean, it's definitely, we're gonna go that route, then, you know, it's gonna be a second. But I think it's encouraging that we plan for it. So, yeah,
On Thursday, you should know which direction you're going.
yes. Yeah, I think, yes.
As far as cutting into the lining, is the company willing to warranty the liner if we go that route, you know?
So that was part of them flying in, so that's and fixing it is a conversation that, we need to have with them is, what is in that warranty now? If you're coming in and fixing it, then, and you're walking us through cutting it, then, what does that look like? So we'll probably, I'm assuming we'll go over that contract again and renegotiate it, so, or just look and see if it's still valid. I think that if they're doing the work, it sounded like, you know, they're
Okay,
gonna help out with that. So, yeah, it's just very unfortunate. And it's, the slip lining is contingent on the ferry running also. So that was kind of like, oh, okay. As far as budget wise with the pool, we are, since we haven't been up, we do have some funds there, so I spoke with Sam today, and, you know, we're just looking at finding out cost of how much the fix is gonna be, and then, you know, weighing that too, so. But we have recouped some funding. With being down and not open.
and maybe you were just referring to it, but with the ferry going down at the end of the month, will that affect being able to get equipment in and out that they need?
For fixing for if they did a patch. No, we actually have, they left last year a large amount of liner in case we needed to patch it ever. And then it would be a service tech that would fly in and he would weld it. They use the same term welding, the whole liner, the PVC part, so. So they would just fly in.
Okay.
We still have the contract money too.
We do have that in our funding, so that was a conversation we had too, was using, we can't move that line item, but we can, at the end of the year, we'll probably be over on pool, but have money in that. So outlay. Yeah, does anyone else have any questions? I have been working with the school. I met with Marcella and with Dawn recently about them being displaced in that time period and trying to come up with just being available for them to utilize anything that we have, making sure that we have that reserved for them. If they need to use our gym, which they might need to. When it's raining out, making sure that our fields are reserved so that they can use them. So trying to help out as much as possible with any displacement at that time that they would usually be in the pool. There. Guys have any more questions about the pool?
I kind of have
Yeah.
at the pool.
Yeah.
So as far as people who have pool passes for this year, it's pool passes, will they have some rollover time for next year?
I haven't made that decision yet. There's only a few people that have actual only pool passes. When they've come to me, I've told them that they can come to Bidarky And if they don't have a gym pass, they can use the pool pass. And then when we go into budget season and look at what that looks like for next year, if the pool's not open yet. How we're gonna do memberships next year, but we haven't made a decision yet on whether or not we're gonna roll any over right now. But that is a great question. So yeah, I'll move on if the other bugger, the other one, so Skeeter's cabin. Still, so it's deteriorating at a rapid rate, it's actually falling in right now. So we've made it a priority to get it taken down, even though we have not raised enough money to take it down. We are going to because, and use it out of. Probably the skate park funding too, you know, like balancing that, we have about half. That we need, but it's becoming a safety hazard right now. So we'll probably have that down within the next couple of weeks. Hopefully the power's been shut off to it, we've emptied it out. Anything that is, you know, that we can save as far as just memorabilia has been taken out already. So we have that at the darky, so it will come down. We'll close off the beach area while they're doing that too, both beaches, Swimmers Beach and the main beach at Skaters, so that you know, they can do their work and get it down and then reopen it when everything's. I do have a few grant options in the future for that, for the cabin too, so I know that right now we haven't made, balancing a little bit ahead of the pool and with this too, that yeah, there's grant options that I'm looking into and applying for that will happen at the end of this year. Yeah, so to help fund it.
Do those grants require the master plan being done?
The ones that I'm looking at don't for the skaters cabin, but for larger grants, yes, I do. Skaters is looking at Rasmussen, their tier one, the $30,000 grant that we get every year. I can't guarantee it, but I apply for it every year and get it. And that typically goes to Bidarky, like equipment or whatever's needed, but I think that it's a good use of that funding to go towards skaters. So, and there's the power company too has one that I'll apply for.
The heart wall is a nice idea.
Mhm.
The heart wall is a nice
Oh,
idea.
yes, yep, I reached out to them, we have to split the funding with. The covered spaces project, but I think it's great, Maisie, I went to bring it today, Maisie donated a beautiful painting of Skater's Cabin. To raffle off or to whatever we needed to do with it, she said, basically, so it's really great, it's in my office, so I'll make sure I get it out there, but I'll also be donating some artwork and. If you know of anyone else, we need about 25 pieces, so we'll start reaching out.
What happens after it's been decommissioned? What's the next thing that needs to be paid for?
The next
When we get
thing,
these grants, I mean,
Mhm.
are we just gonna hold the grants and wait or?
The next thing that needs to be paid for is civil engineering. If we cannot like find anyone to help with that, then that's part of it. We have to, the drainage issue with that area is significant. So where the cabin's gonna go and what the drainage is, what the plan is for it will be the next. Part, getting an actual concept of what, buildable concept of what we want and where it needs to be placed, and that's. Above my head, it's gotta be really thought out. Cause right now where it's located, it's draining underneath the cabin and that's why it's. A lot of, it's deteriorating right there in that area. That would be the next step, and then after that, choosing what cabin we want it to go in.
Are you still looking at some of the Spinard
Yeah, I'm looking at
kits? Yeah.
a bunch of different ones. I've reached out to a few companies and their quotes for just a cabin are about 110,000 mostly without shipping. And then, that's with a porch on the front. I haven't changed anything else about it. So like for like, 2 code. Not a log cabin. But something we can make it look how we would like, I guess. So, you know, it's all decisions that need to be made, but, and then. Yeah, so deciding on which cabin we want. Yeah.
I can talk to you a little bit about this in private, but
Mhm.
collaborating with the Forest Service, I know earlier this year, they were looking for places to put cabins.
Yeah, I did meet with Dave about that and it looked like it was gonna be a really long time frame right now to have that happen, a few like years. So in lieu of that, they might help us with some of the groundwork that needs, the tree work that needs to be done.
Right.
So, yeah, it was kind of like, okay, we could, but it would be years before we would even get a decision made on it and, you know, I'm really trying not to go a year without Skaters Cabin, so
Okay,
let alone a little bit, but yeah, and then with funding cuts too, I think that it impacted
right,
those two, so
Right.
those opportunities that we may have had before.
okay.
But I'm still excited about it and I'm still just really pushing in every avenue and talking to everybody that I can about it and how important it is to the community and I really want it back as soon as we can get it back, so. It's just taking those steps and even if people are willing to donate time and when that comes and encouragement, anything, you know, it's gonna really want to make it happen. Some other things that are on, if nobody has any more questions about skaters. So, the fish cleaning station, the new one that was put in last year by the high school, blew over in the January 6th storm and got really injured in it. It was like, yeah, totally. It's repairable, but it's taking a minute to do that, so we will have it up hopefully in the next few weeks for silver season, so if anyone's asking, we're trying to get it back into working order, so we can put it back with the one next to it. And then maybe just reinforce it a little bit better, so we have reached out to try to get it fixed, so, and then in-house too, trying to get it fixed, but it kind of just twisted really bad.
This is the one out towards the burn pile.
Yeah, there was two of them now, and that it was a new one that the high school built that blew over in the storm. The one that we lost the skate park and. Yeah, so it will be up and running hopefully soon. So, we've been really busy, everyone's been really busy, we had the Gutbuster this weekend. And a pickleball tournament, it was a great turnout for both of those. Really excited to have these things year after year, and, yeah, it was great, we almost doubled the Gutbuster from last year, how many people we had. And I'd like to say it was us, but it's probably a lot the weather too, but we're just really trying to get it out there and have, more options for people to run and do activities, so I think the more that we have them, the more we can start investing more in them with timing and that sort of stuff that we can have for it. And get people from out of town too that wanna come in and do it, we've been working with, Ted from Ski Hill. And we meet with him this week about, and you know, just a debrief and what else we can do to collaborate on Ski Hill, I think it's a great resource that we have, to have events there. And then just see what we can do to change it next year if we need to at all, so. Yeah, it was a fun event, pickleball always is just amazing, so, yeah, big pickleball town. Taylor and I played, great, we did not win. That's not what it's about. Carefully. So, yeah, it was fun, and so, yeah, we just, had a lot of great programs, we're starting on the fall activity guide, so we're, Jake and I met yesterday and we're just like finishing up what we wanna have for activities, what worked and didn't work last year. And then moving forward, what we wanna do, in the winter too, we're always a few, actually a lot of months ahead. And then, we're just planning on, we're having a float down the Alleganic, on the sixth, I keep, on the sixth, so it's free, and we just wanna show the community, support, they've supported us all this. Summer, so we're gonna have a barbecue at the end of it. So if anyone would like to do that, sign up is online, we are having signups, it's free, but we need a waiver sign. So, and you have to wear a life jacket, so, yeah, we're gonna do all those things, but it should be a lot of fun. And that's all I think if anybody, I'll be working on the budget for next year already. I'll have something for next month's meeting, a rough a rough outline of what I'll be asking for and priorities that I think have come up over this year about what we want to work on. So I encourage anyone to reach out to me, or if you want to let me know of anything that you think is a priority, and we'll try to get it in the budget for next year. That's what I got. Does anyone have any questions about anything? I feel like we just skimmed over. Or do you want me to, I know it's a light packet this time, but if you have anything that you would like me to put into the next packet.
Did you already talk about the master plan?
I have not talked about the master plan, so the master plan, I'm not sure who was on the board, but we have a master plan that's half done right now. It was cut from the budget last year, so I think total it was $70,000 to Corvus Design. We paid the 35,000, and had half of it done, and then the rest of it was cut this year. This past budget season, I will be putting it back in. It's such a valuable tool for what we're doing. We have a lot of opportunities for grants to come up. I've met with, a bunch of different I've met with Rasmussen and talked about with people, a lot of different other grants that we can maybe apply for. And then what that looks like, but the master plan is the first thing. They want to see community support and everything, and they want us to know what we want. So me, really pushing for that this year is going to be a priority, because Corvus Design has been wonderful. Chris, is the one that's helped us, do that. They came here, they did a lot of community outreach, so we have half of it done. So I'd like to get the other half done, not only we didn't waste that funding in the beginning, but also just so that we have the opportunity to look forward to the future and what that looks like for Parks and Rec, and have, apply for grants, which we're gonna need some grants in the future.
Is the master plan just for Parks and Rec, or does it include other city-owned buildings?
Nope, it's just for Parks and Rec, so like some other departments have their own master plans too. This one's specifically Parks and Rec. And if you wanted to look at other master plans that Corvus Design does, it has done, they were, Ketchikan, I really encourage everyone to look at them because they're really great. Ketchikan has one, Valdez, Corvus Design did that, and, I just talked to the Parks and Rec director at the Kenai, and they're just finishing up theirs too through Corvus Design, so, it's just a tool that we need, and it's just Parks and Rec. The only thing that, Chris has really spoken to me about too is that he's willing to change our plan. Like, what was important 2 years ago when they started it is not necessarily what's important, not important, but what is priority right now for us. And, also having the trails plan finished, some of those trails are on the master plan of the Parks and Rec plan, so what can we omit from it now? And what is priority, so making that decision, and they're willing to help with that too if we refund it, to rescope what it looks like, so. Skater's Cabin would probably be taken off of it because we're kind of in the process of that right now, but definitely the pool and Bedarkie would be, in my eyes, a priority with the buildings and the condition that they're in.
How long are master plans good for? Is it like
This
15
one's-
years?
This one's 20 years, I believe, it depends, so it does, they also. If you do get a chance to look at those, they also, take in consideration everything, like, how many people it takes to run a building. How much, the population, what is the norm for this population? They do, there's no guessing games. If you can operate the pool or not, a new pool. Or not, it tells you, so. Yeah, it's really good information, it's nice.
Do you expect that funding to make it in the budget this
I
year?
really hope so, I'm really pushing for it, I think that, we're going into budget season with a large deficit with the city right now. And so really, I think that people making it a priority too, the community making it a priority and voicing that is huge. So,
Would it help at all to have some sort of letter of support from the commission, or is that not relevant in these things?
I think it would be helpful and that's something I am definitely planning on, yeah, so. Yeah, we'll have it next. So, yeah, but in the support of that.
So once Skater's Cabin is demoed, what of the skate park funding do you anticipate being left over? If any, I'm just curious if some of that could fund the master plan before it gets thrown back into the general fund.
So it potentially could, there would be some left over, but right now, weighing the possibility that the pool is gonna be a significant amount of money right now.
Okay.
That, it's holding a place for that, I would say. Not making any decision on that funding until we know what the pool is gonna cost. So making yours on.
And how long is that master plan good for until we have to just redo the whole thing?
Good question,
I
I do
imagine-
not know, but right now I am working closely with Corvus Design about how long they wanna hold that half. Without starting over again, because at some point it's not gonna be relevant at all.
I would think that would be good information for some council to hear. Like, we've already invested 35 grand and it's gonna expire in 5 years.
Yeah.
We should really do this before it's just a total waste of
Yeah.
our funds.
Did the 35 grand come out of Parks and Rec's budget, or did it come out of the general?
Parks and Recs budget.
Did.
From what I understand, from Duncan Sue.
It always surprises me that there seems to be some separation between our budget and what the city deems as important for us and not important for us.
Well, we try to always make a plan for what.
But we have to cut one thing to pay for another thing, and then, so you ever got this pool situation, well, that's not a parks problem, that's a city problem. In my opinion. When something big like that comes up, that's not something we should be having.
And I think that is a great, like, it's a community issue right now. And so that's why, I really think it's important for everyone to get involved, that is because this is big. We've been struggling for a while with keeping the facilities going. And unfortunately, I don't want that. Fortunately and unfortunately, I want them to continue to go, and so that means making some hard decisions. About what the future is with that, and that is part of the community, And so I really encourage everyone to come to meetings, and keep informed about it, because. I think that's how we're gonna make this happen, so.
I think the one thing you have on your side is that everybody will look cool.
It is a benefit
Very
of it.
beloved.
It is very beloved, I will say,
Issue.
it is, well, beloved, I think that, what with the pool and Parks and Rec, and I think I've spoken to everybody about this, is. How important it is to have a Parks and Rec in a community, and especially like this one, and, that is very important, so people that aren't seeing that importance, I'm happy to talk to them about it. Because it is a huge community, asset to have a Parks and Rec like we do, so.
Yeah, and I mean, the pool, the Bedarkie, the Skaters Cabin belong to the city, they don't belong to Parks and Rec.
And we're managing. But, yeah, we'll be turning the corner of budget season, and I'm gonna try to push for everything we can to get it going. Hopefully, yeah.
I don't know as much about it as I should, but have you talked to Cordova Community Foundation? I know that they take donations from people. I don't know how those donations come out. And I
Yeah,
don't know how those can be directed, but I wonder if that's another source for.
so I have had that brought up before, and I'm looking at that as a source. I know that they have an application process, and there's. This certain time that we have to do it, so that is one, that I am reaching out for that. If anyone does have any other grant funding too, I'm happy to look at it. Email me a link. It's, I can definitely look into it. unfortunately too, but a lot of funding has been cut and, a lot of pools are suffering from the heyday of the seventies in Alaska, so I keep in touch with, a lot of the pools, our network with a lot of directors. So we're all kind of in it together. Some communities have more money, and that's really what it lands at, so. So I just encourage everyone to keep sharing their story. And, you know, we're the squeaky wheel with this and, I know I am and the team. Anybody that wants to come in and talk about it, we're happy to talk. And we're happy to, listen to anybody's, concerns or, even change my mind about something. You know, here, so.
Any more questions? Report? In that case, we'll go to commission comments. Jim, you will start?
Yes, I appreciate all the work you're doing and, yeah, it's pretty exciting that hill run. I think that was pretty awesome. I did have someone reach out and asked if, there could be a discount for that kind of activity for people that have memberships.
Mhm. We were just talking about that too. I mean, we're weighing everything, like even if we get residents, non-resident, you know, that sort of. Option for it, so yeah, that's,
But it's not a
Definitely.
huge expenditure to have fun, you know.
yeah,
I understand that, but.
yeah,
Great, you know.
yeah.
Have fun at the convention in
Oh,
Valdez.
thank you, yes, we're very excited.
When is that exactly?
It's when is it? Yeah, it's on September 8th is it's on, so Valdez will be there all week, I'm very excited. There's two big conventions, one's the national one and this one's the Alaskan one. And it's just really great. I have some budgeting workshops to go to and, you know, just a lot of different things Mike is going to, and Jake's gonna meet some other programmers, which is huge,
That's great.
yeah.
Cool.
It's great. Thank you.
I don't really have anything else. I will say though, talking to the Cordova Community Foundation, that it could be a source for them as well. Because like she said, the pool is loved by a lot of people and there's probably people that would be willing to donate
Mhm.
if they felt like it was going to help
Yeah.
with the pool sourcing.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely reach out. They're on my list.
I can think of one particular couple, but there's a lot of. others.
There's so far, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, I was thinking of the community foundation too. They do some like different matches where they got a fund running, they can match up to a certain point of it, or the Alaska Community Foundation can match some of it, so they've got some interesting tools to kind of ramp up participation. It would be interesting, and I was just looking at their grant application today for something different, and I think that opens
It's
September
over,
1st,
yeah, soon,
pretty soon, so
Yeah.
that's good.
yeah.
Yeah, just
Really.
keep giving us information to help advocate.
We will put something out about the poll too, you find out this week, so.
And I have had a few people ask about like a budget for skaters cabin, and it's kind of a moving target, but
Mhm.
when that info becomes available.
Definitely.
Two things. One, yeah, I'd love to hear an update after Thursday.
Yep.
About timeline or what that looks like. I've heard from other people, October, January, December, and I'm like, I don't know where you're getting this.
Yeah, I don't know where
Getting
these dates
I-
are from, I don't know where they're getting this.
It's like October sounds great to me.
Yeah.
And I like that one. I choose you.
Yeah.
And then also, just kind of to reiterate what I said earlier, I've heard from a lot of people who are concerned that had pool passes.
Mhm.
That, and I know we've talked before about it being really hard to refund people, but if there was a way to extend membership. Just talking with people who I work with alone. Including me, like I was really only bought a full pass for the
Mhm.
summer,
Yeah,
because that's the only time I have time to take my kids, so it was. A lot of money to not get to use it. I understand where the pool is.
yeah, I think that's something that weighs on my mind with that, I appreciate everyone's passes, but I think I'll have an update on that soon, I hope, if we can extend. But, yeah.
So I would echo that as well, because, you know, I think there are families paying quite a bit of money to be able to use the pool and the gym, and half of that's been taken away from them. So they're paying for something they can't use. The other thing I might ask is that when you go to Valdez, I don't know if it's appropriate to ask some questions, but is it common practice to expect the Parks and Recreation to use their own operating budget to pay for things like buildings? I mean, we're really talking about paying for a $500 million building and finding the money on our own. When in the end, it's the city's building. I mean, if you were to say, look, we're not replacing skaters' cabins, that shouldn't come down on you, it should come down on the city.
I will say too that I have met with Sam, I think meet with her every week about it too, so she's been very helpful, the whole city's been very helpful with, you know, I'm not in this alone kind of thing. And navigating the options for this, yeah, it's a bunch of big things happening, and so I think, yeah, the whole city's been very supportive.
Emotionally, but not fiscally.
Well, I mean, they're trying to help come up with a plan, too, so they're
Yeah.
helping me navigate that aspect of it too, so.
Because they must hear from the public also that skater cabin's important to the
Oh, I'm
community.
sure, yeah. And I think it's important to them too, so I think they're weighing all the other things that are happening right now is hard, but. Not hard, but there's a lot going on. We have not just our facilities, but a lot of other facilities within this city. I can think of a bunch right now that are having the same conversations we are.
The high school. All the schools are owned by the city too, not by the school district.
Yeah. Got one right down in front of us, that is. Hard shape too, you know, so,
Yeah, all of those things.
yeah,
Anything for pending agenda that we'd like to see on?
yeah, that's what I would like to know. I'm gonna do the budget, I'm gonna have a budget update and then. For that, just you know, a priorities list. Something we can go over.
So you'll have a draft budget for pending agenda or?
I won't have a
just like-
draft budget, I'm just gonna, I'll have what, I keep through the year as, things that have come up that we say, next year's budget, we'll put it on that, and then just kind of maybe some help prioritizing what that looks like.
Okay.
Some of the stuff is not avoidable, you know, but some of the stuff we can position a little bit differently, I think.
Does the commission usually weigh in on the parks budget before it goes to the manager?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and when it does come out, you guys will be a part of that too.
Anything else pending agenda? I'd like, when, and you can, maybe start putting together a timeline for the cabin. Cause I heard you say. Like to have a cabin a year from now.
Yeah. I would, I mean, I think that the longer we go without having one, the longer, you know, it gets out of our mind, and I am stubborn and I want it and I know how important it is. And, I'll do everything that I can in my power to have it back as soon as possible. So, yeah. I think it's that important to the community that I put some time into it.
Does it help that you look at it from your house even?
Yes, a little bit.
How close are we to having a design? Or picking a particular,
I think the design, I could, you know, it's gonna be similar to what it is. I don't know if we'll. I mean, it's a concept design for it is an extra funding ask. Knowing that we're probably just gonna do like for like, and then we kind of know what it's gonna look like. It's the civil engineering design that is gonna be, I think, key to
That's how
the
much,
long term, usually about 30% of a structure.
We're trying to have some $1,000 for the,
Yeah, so it's a big part of it, and I am reaching out to see, if we can get any help with the civil engineering part of it. If anyone's out there that would like to help.
I just know that Ski Hill has been kicking things around for their snack shack and building up there as well. There's been a lot of different ideas about what would work and what wouldn't, how much money to spend and what kind of materials to use.
Right, yeah, I think that code is gonna, let us know what materials are best to use and whatever. They know the cabins that I've been reaching out to know what our code is, I email that to. And that they'll be, yeah, so the materials, we're just trying to stay away from log cabin, something that's gonna deteriorate quickly. Or need a lot of upkeep, so anything that's low maintenance. But will last. A long time for the future. So the concept, concept designer, what it's gonna look like. It's gonna look like the cabin. But investing in that civil engineering is a priority for me because of the location.
all right. Hearing nothing else for pending agenda, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second, all right, motion's been seconded, all in favor?
Alright.
I don't think we have to vote on that actually,
I
but
don't think we did.
do or done.
I don't think we did.
All right, so we're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, I really appreciate it.